Hi beautiful souls, it's Mimi aka SoulStar Divine Feminine. Welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys can hear me okay. It's quite windy outside. I'm in my garden as I'm trying to connect more with nature more and more every day, and I've been transmuting a lot of heavy energies recently. I know we've had a pink moon recently. A lot of us are going through some extreme rapid ascension, and a lot of you divine feminines are also dealing with a lot of the spiritual pregnancy symptoms, which are quite similar but also at the same time not, and it's completely debilitating sometimes, absolutely exhausting, and sometimes you think you're crazy until you remember, wow, I'm so grateful that I have all this sensitivity to these energies and I can feel these things coming in. However, I've been out of commission for about a week, just resting as much as I can, and I thought you guys would benefit and appreciate seeing what my garden looks like. And throughout the rest of the readings I'm going to do this week, I'm going to be showing you a lot more of our house and our retreat here at the No Retreat. Don't forget you can come here for so many different types of healing sessions with me and my twin flame, my divine masculine, as well as just enjoying Bali for what it is, because it's a magical spiritual place. Now, I was actually meditating and channeling for this beautiful soul, Leah. Hi, Leah. As I was doing was about to do a private reading for her, private tarot reading, and Spirit was like, no, you've got something else to do first. And I started channeling messages for the collective of twin flames. I started to get all these other messages in. So I'm going with the flow, because I flow in life like water, like the water behind me. So here I am with the twin flame collective reading. Now, Spirit has guided me that these are messages of what the divine masculine wants the divine feminine to know. As the last, or the energies we've, as divine feminines, have been channeling recently is, I'm done with this, I'm still getting hurt, I still got hurt, I'm still trying to let some of that hurt go, I just want my happy ending, where is my happy ending, this is taking so long, I've manifested. It's been exhausting. Yeah. It's been completely exhausting, and some of the divine masculines are still struggling to communicate effectively and really stay in their heart space for more than 20 seconds, for more than an hour. So things have been quite rough the last few weeks, I'd say, and I think the energies of the pink moon and just the collective in general, the vibrations are definitely getting higher and higher, and the sensitivity levels are getting more potent on both the divine masculine and divine feminine sides. Now, it's extremely hot, so what I have on is a loose shirt, so if you guys peek too much, then you know I can only apologize in advance. But I don't even want to wear clothes right now, but I have to because it's YouTube, and I could wear my bikini top, but my breasts are really sore from spiritual pregnancy. They're super heavy and the size of my head right now, so I don't want to wear a bikini top, and there are so many entities and energies all around me, so if you see me looking in different directions, it's because I'm seeing shadows and figures literally everywhere. So let's start with the divine masculines on their real deep emotional journey of what they're going through right now. The first card I have is the Confront card, which just speaks volumes to me. I might edit in what this spread looks like, because I've never had a reading like this before. Spirit was just like, you need to do this, you need to do this one, just flying them all out all over the shop. And this doesn't surprise me that it's come first. Confront, again, confront. Hope you guys can see that card. As you guys know, I show you the cards to help you connect more with the energy. Wow. Okay, I instantly have a headache. Oh my gosh. And it's like a really sad, complete mental breakdown energy. Divine masculine. Wow. Okay. You guys are going through a lot mentally right now. Emotionally, it's hard for you to really face. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to break down and cry. Okay, so divine feminines, the masculines are wanting you to know that right now, this is a whole other level of like a similar like tower moment, but they're facing so much of their inner child demons, and I know I know you've heard this time and time and time and time and time and time again, and they are fucking aware that you've heard this time and time and time and time and time again, and that is killing them. That is destroying them. They're it's like full-on mental breakdown. They've been only facing maybe A, B, and C, and then being like, this is too much, and then it creeping up again, and then being like, okay, let me finish off feeling C, maybe I'll do a D. Oh shit, I really hurt these people. Fuck, I've been hurting myself. Why aren't I happy? Shouldn't all this money make me happy? Shouldn't this job and career make me happy? Why do I always fuck things up for myself? I don't deserve this. They've been doing it slowly. As I said in the last reading, they don't like uncomfortability. Divine masculines do not like uncomfortability at all, as we very well know. And this headache. I think I said last time, they were pushing themselves to be uncomfortable in a comfortable way, in the most comfortable way that they could do it. But now the universe is like, you have delayed this for so long. You have to step up to the plate. You can't be a pussy. You literally need to step into your mission. You need to step into your real fucking self, because this is ridiculous. This is outrageous. You cannot keep holding this back. You cannot keep holding this in. So right now, it's like 500 different versions of themselves are all trying to scramble for air. They're all trying to have their voice heard all at the same time. Do you remember when this happened and you were 7 and it really hurt you, and your mum just completely detached from you and didn't show you any emotion, and now you don't ever really trust women and you don't value them because you never felt valued by your mum, and that's supposed to be the most important person in your life? Like, literally everything is coming up all at once. And they are it's like when they were becoming aware of how they hurt you divine feminines before, it was like a little pot of pasta that was a bit overcooked. You know, shit, I left it to boil for too long. Oh no, shit, that's not right. Okay, let me just check the lid. Oh fuck, that's burnt on the bottom. Wow, that's shit. Why did I do that? I know better than that. But now now it's like they have a whole fucking walk-in fridge full of gone off produce that they've still been serving to customers because they've been in such denial and such delusion, pandering to their own ego because they haven't wanted to face the fucking truth. And now the universe and their higher self is like, there's no more waiting. You cannot delay this anymore. You are hurting yourself and are continuing to hurt others because of that. So fuck me, they are going through shit. My head is killing me. Some of the divine masculines are fully having a mental breakdown. The emotions are so overwhelming because they're so good at detaching. They're skilled at that. And when all of these things come up and continue to bubble over the surface, and it's like they can't put the lid back on it, they can't put it back in the oven, they cannot put it back in that fridge because it's just full of mold already. It is so overwhelming. They get stressed out, they can't take it. They're literally having fits of rage, anger, frustration, crying. There's so many things they don't even want to do anymore, like ordinary things. They can't talk to the people they used to talk to in the same way because they'll get a text. Literally, I'm seeing visions of them getting texts like, hi, how are you? Haven't spoken to you in a while, or hey, you coming round to see Nan later? And it just angers them completely. They're like, fuck this, I can't deal with this shit. And they break down completely. And then 2 hours later, they're like, fuck, I have to get myself together now. Okay, show up to Nan's house. Oh my gosh. They're confronting their fears. They're confronting their shit. They're confronting all of these issues they've held onto. They didn't want to admit this because their ego doesn't want to admit it. They don't want to feel like they've been holding on to something for 25 years. They don't want to admit to themselves the reason they hurt themselves even now, and they hurt the person they love, and they hurt this friend, and they hurt that dad because of all the shit they've been holding on to. They don't want to admit that. But they're being forced now. They're literally being forced to admit that, to confront these demons, because they just can't continue to have all of these different fucked up energies within them at all times anymore. Like, the mission has to move forward. The mission has to go on. It has to get started. It can no longer be just the feminines in the mission. They are being forced to confront this, and boy oh boy are they confronting it. And they know it's hard for you guys to believe. They know that. Some of the divine masculines have been reaching out to you divine feminines after a year, after 2 years, after 6 weeks, after 5 months. And it's like, for the feminines, some of you feel like, wow, my DM reached out to me. They're in their heart space. Okay, I'm not going to have all these crazy expectations. Let me just remain open. And you see your divine masculine, and they're in their heart space for what? An hour, 2 hours, maybe even a couple of days. And then straight away, straight back to the usual programming. And you're like, what? Are you serious? Even now? Trust me. They are confronting this, whether you know it or not. They are confronting this shit because the mission is forcing them to do so. The universe is forcing them to do so. Oh, that is intense. Wow. I'm trying to get stronger in my readings, because you guys know I'm an empath. I feel these emotions literally as if they're mine. It's hard to not cry right now because that feels so horrible. And I know us feminists have already gone through this. And even if we're still frustrated, we still feel for them. But man, they are still fighting. It's literally like they're in a ring with themselves. And they're like, no, I don't want to feel this shit. Fuck that. They're still fighting, which is just making it worse. It's just making it worse. And I know it's the cliche thing of some people really just have to learn the hard way. And they are. They really are. Wow. Next up, we have feeling alone. I know it's a cliche story, and I know you guys have heard this before. I know you have. And it's like I almost, like, sometimes when I do these readings, I feel bad because it's like sometimes the energy does just come straight back around again, like a cycle, like life. And I wish I could always say good news, and I wish I could always say such a happy, positive reading. And even though this is in so many different perceptions, this is a transformative reading because the divine masculines and divine feminines are fully transforming. It's sad that most of the time we can only transform through these horrible, painful ego deaths, confronting our traumas, having all these fears and worries, these blocks. I wish I could just be like, yeah guys, you don't need to go through any pain to transform, you're just elevating. It is what it is. My goodness. My head's all over the place with this. Divine masculines, similar to the last reading, but on a much larger scale this time. Wow. They are starting to admit that they have left themselves out in the cold. And I mean fully. Like, they are ripping open that band-aid. They are pushing and kicking down those doors because they hate the fact that they're feeling like this and having to relive these energies and these experiences, even though now they're becoming aware that they've just continued to let them fester within them the whole time, because we are all energy. they're finally through this pain. It's out of the frustration. Out of the frustration of feeling all of these memories and these same stagnant energies that have just been living within them, and they're coming up and being like, attention me, attention me, attention me, don't ignore me, you can't ignore me this time, you can't suppress me anymore, I'm coming full throttle, I'm speaking up. And they're having to confront these things because they can no longer avoid it. Out of the frustration, they are facing that they have ignored themselves for so long. Their real selves, their heart space, their soul selves. They've ignored the reasons why they came here in the first place. Did you guys see that? My phone just like nodded in agreement. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for laughing. I need to, because this is some fucking intense shit right now. The divine masculines, feminines, they need you to know that even though this is happening in the most dramatic way, they are really putting in some fucking heavy graft that they don't typically put into themselves. They feel sad for themselves. They feel disheartened. They're breaking their own hearts. They're aware that they've broken their heart, sorry. They're aware now that they've broken their heart, and that's making them feel more pain. And it is taking them on some crazy journey of ego death. Wow, wow, wow. And they can't, it's like they can't even comprehend that they've allowed themselves to just leave themselves in the lurch this whole time. They've left themselves out in the cold this whole time. They've left their inner child out in the cold this whole time. And they hate the fact that they've done this to themselves. It's killing them. They know the only reason that they've had all these issues, acted certain ways, hurt so many people in their life is because they were hurting them. Because at some point down the line, they didn't take responsibility for their own happiness. They just kept on projecting everything onto everyone else. They kept avoiding. They feel alone because they left themselves alone. And I know us divine feminines went through the same fucking thing, and it is not pretty. It is not pretty. They love you, divine feminines. They know that their hatred and frustration towards you wasn't really anything to do with you, and it was themselves. And that's what's killing them. That's literally what's killing them. Oh, I need a cup of tea, my goodness. This is a big reading as well, so please hold on to your horses, because this is some intense journey right now. Okay, so I'm feeling like going through this, and I mean really fully doing the full-on man in the mirror, like Michael Jackson style. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, like fully, not hiding anymore. I feel like some of the divine masculines, even now, are still struggling to articulate out loud to themselves when they're looking in their reflection, which so many of them don't like looking at their reflection. They don't like taking pictures. They don't like the way they look. They don't like looking in mirrors. They avoid them. The only time they really look in mirrors, the ones I'm channeling, is when they're like having to check like their face. Did they moisturize properly? Have they got anything on their face? Did they need to shave? Is their hair okay? Because divine masculines are in feminine bodies too. Sorry, female bodies as well. And it's like the two visions I'm getting are either they hate their reflection and tend to avoid it and only look at it if it's a necessity, and will tend to keep that quite private, their shyness or avoidance, however you want to label it. And then the other half is almost over egotistical and pretends that they're more confident than they actually are, and that when they're what they think about themselves, when they see pictures or videos of themselves, they don't like it, which just sounds so ridiculous. But boy, are we all have insecurities. They're starting to get to a whole new level of acceptance. They're really trying to ground in this new acceptance of why they've done certain things, how they actually got themselves to this place. The world didn't do this. The system isn't against them. It's them. It was them against themselves. And yes, of course, upbringing, this matrix illusion, it can really fuck up your shit. And it can deter you off course, and it can make you into things that you're not. But at some point you realize you're responsible for creating your own life, regardless of this bullshit system we're in. And they're starting to really ground in that acceptance that they are where they are because of themselves and no one else. Wowza. Okay. Detach. Goodness. Goodness gracious me. Wow. Okay, so this is really heavy right now. The divine masculines, what they want you to know, feminines, is boy oh boy, because they've started to realize in such a bigger way, like the more of the full spectrum, more of the bird's eye view of how they have neglected themselves, hurt themselves, left all of their inner child, younger child issues just out in the open, continuing to fester, continuing to be part of their embodiment, their light body. They're really trying to detach from leaving their inner child out in the cold for so long. And I see some of the divine masculines going back and forth, teeter-tottering, like feeling like, okay, I've really faced all of these demons, I've really faced all of these issues, I can now detach from that, let it go into the universe, move on. I've healed, confronted that energy, and now I'm letting it go. It no longer determines my point of view, my being, my energy, my perception. But some of them are finding this extremely fucking hard, as it is. But because when you don't deal with your emotions for so long, sometimes your whole life for what you can remember, when there's suddenly so many emotions all coming up, all you want to do is just be like, no, like, okay, whatever this is, I accept it, like, let me be, like, let me just be good. And I see some of them trying to almost rush through this, which, as we all know, is just gonna make it come back around again. Wow. But they are really trying to love themselves more. They are trying to actually love that inner child. They are trying to drop that ego. The ego tells lies, the heart tells the truth. The ego has helped them for so long in so many ways, and at the same time still completely hurt them. And they're realizing at this point the ego is doing more damage than good. At this point the suppression is doing more damage than good. At this point the avoidance is doing more damage than good. You don't heal by suppressing, you heal by releasing. And they are trying to let go of these burdens. They're trying to surrender. They are trying to trust in a higher power. They are trying to trust in the new version of themselves that is starting to slowly emerge from that cocoon. They don't want to be left out in the cold anymore. They don't want to leave themselves out in the cold anymore. They don't want to leave all these people they love and care about in the cold anymore. And I feel like so agitated because I feel like the divine masculines have that fear right in the back of their head that they're going to go through all of this and it's not going to do anything. Wow, third eye chakra. Bloody hell. Wow. Okay. So once they're getting to this stage of really trying to surrender to the universe, to themselves, to a higher power, really trying to detach from these low-level perceptions of life, love, being, how they have to be, how they're seen, trying to detach from all of these expectations. Oh my gosh, all this pressure that has been not only put on them from the system, from so many loved ones, people that claim to care for them, but especially themselves. Trying to detach from all of these hurtful experiences, because they're realizing that if they can continue to confront and heal and accept those things and how it made them really feel and really be honest with themselves, they can let it go, and it is opening and expanding their consciousness. It is starting to get them to elevate. They know that the more that they go through this, confronting, accepting how they feel, grounding it, realizing it had its purpose, realizing it has shaped them the way they are now, and releasing it, they're able to see a much clearer picture, a much clearer vision. They are understanding that their view was like this, and because their ego was like this, they thought their view was like this, and it wasn't. It was like this. And the more and more they confront, heal, let go, that view just gets so much more wider. The confidence starts to rise up again, the clarity, the peace of mind, the peace of knowing that you're exactly where you're meant to be because you got yourself here and you created this. And other energies are always going to try and intersect. But you are where you are because of you, at the end of the day. they're getting to that space of no longer blaming everything on everyone else. And that's a great thing, that realization. It's getting really dark out here, so I may end up having to do a part 2. Luckily I put my garden lights on already. I love this card. So as I said, the divine masculines, feminines, they want you to know they are really healing. And I mean for real, for real. As I said, it's no longer just seeing one little spectrum of themselves and being like, maybe I could heal this. Oh fuck, tower moment. Oh no. Like, I mean, let's say their tower moment was like 10 out of 10. The way this energy feels, this feels like 100 out of 10. Because they're being pushed. They are being pushed and forced into their mission. The universe has been knocking on their door. Masculine, masculine, masculine. You, for a long time, feminines, were knocking up that fucking door. The universe was channeling through you, and other times it was your fear and your worries and all of that. And now it's like the universe has just come in and kicked the fucking door down because it's time. It is time. It really is. And one of the reasons why the divine masculines have never, and I feel like this is for a specific number of feminines that are watching this. Because for some of you feminines, as much as you've healed and you've grown and you've started stepping into your power, there's still parts of you that feel that lack of self-worth. There's still parts of you that feel like that this person never respected you, never listened to you. How could they really care when they never listen or respect you or your higher or more wider consciousness or the love that you gave to them in all of these times, and always gave so much of yourself instead of giving to yourself? So many of you feminines still feel like that. On a small degree, on a larger degree. Some of you won't even admit that to yourselves, and right now you're watching this video thinking, no, I don't feel like that, I'm over that, like whatever. But it's still there. And the divine masculines, they fucking feel it. They really feel it. Because they know that so many of the reasons why they never listened to you, why they never really heard you from their heart, why they never responded, it's because they were hurting themselves so much. They weren't healing themselves. They weren't facing themselves. How could they listen to you when they couldn't listen to their real heart? They couldn't even listen to themselves. All they were listening to was this ego. They weren't listening to this heart. The heart tells the truth, the ego tells lies. All they were doing was listening to lies and lies and lies, and it works like clockwork, like a fucking circuit board, a full-on system. They couldn't listen to you because they weren't listening to themselves, and they are facing that right now. Oh my gosh, they're facing it right now. They are really trying to heal, and it is not easy. As we know, it is not easy. I feel like so many of the masculines are going back into that cocoon phase. But they don't really know how to act or exactly what to do in order to really feel these emotions, be able to deal with it and transmute it, because it feels so abnormal to them that it is so overwhelmingly uncomfortable that it's almost like they're trying to find a way to wriggle out of it, and they just don't know how. And every time they try and do that, it just comes up again, and they're like, fuck, I have to deal with this. They're realizing that so many of the things that have happened in their lives and all of these messages that they've gotten from you, from different people they've connected with, As I said in the last reading, I see a lot of the divine masculines meeting random people, like a neighbor that lives in the building, or oh my gosh, who else did I see? I think I saw a vision of a postman or something. Hold on one second, guys. I'm just going to put on the lights and see if it helps any better. It's getting seriously dark. I don't think that made a difference because the one light that's in front of me is the one light bulb that's not working. So I'll get through this quickly. And I'll definitely have to do a part 2. And maybe go upstairs or do the other half in the morning when there's better lighting. But as I said, they're getting so many different messages from you and so many other people and random people and people they're not even close to. And they're realizing that so many of those things that were said were guidelines, were angels in disguise trying to help push them in the right direction again and again. Like the universe always starts off with subtle nudges, repeating the same YouTube thumbnail, coming up again and again until finally you're like, you know what, this keeps coming up, let me just watch it and see what it's about. And then realizing, oh my gosh, that's my life, wow, I needed to hear this at this time, this is divinely orchestrated. They're realizing so many of these things were put into place to reprogram them, to help wake them up, because they are really being pushed to wake the fuck up. And I mean for real this time. It's like Neo in the Matrix. If any of you beautiful divine feminines and divine masculines have ever watched the Matrix, as I'm sure so many of us spiritual people have probably watched it 500 times, like I have, every time you watch it, you see and learn something new. In the Matrix, the main character, played by Keanu Reeves, called Neo, who's the one, divine masculine, he's being told by Morpheus he's the one, he's the one, he's the one, he's the one. He's the one that's going to save the world. He's the one that's going to save Zion. He's destined to have this amazing mission, just like us twin flames. And he doesn't believe all of it. This is all overwhelming to his ego to comprehend that the world he thought was real isn't real, and this is all an illusion and everything else. And he goes to the oracle, who's going to tell him what he needs to know. And he thinks he's going there to get confirmation that he's the one. And the oracle says, I'm sorry, kid, you're not the one. You got the gift, but something's holding you back. Maybe it's you in another lifetime. Whatever it is, you're not the one. So Neo comes out of the oracle's kitchen and wants to tell Morpheus straight away, do you know what? Everything you believe in, everything you trust in, everything you're guided and channeling, it's not true, because I'm really not the one. But before he can even say any of that, Morpheus is like, what was said for you was said for you and you alone. And later on, it turns out Neo really is the one. And he realizes that all of the things that he's been doing and can channel, and now he's open to it because he no longer feels that pressure on him to be the one. He's then open to receive all of this guidance and channel all of these things and these abilities and doing things that no one has ever done before. And he realizes he's the one. And the only reason that the oracle told him he wasn't the one is because his higher self knew that he wouldn't be ready to hear it at that time. And it sounds so crazy. And it's like, wow, is this how divine orchestration works? And sometimes, yeah. Sometimes our higher selves understand that we're not ready to comprehend certain things. So they take us on a slightly longer route to get there. And I feel like the divine masculines are really healing. And they're really facing these things. And they're understanding that so many of these things and these people and these experiences have been put into place in such a divine way to get them here right now. Because they weren't ready before. Their soul, their higher self, God, whatever you want to call it, they knew that this physical vessel, that this brain wouldn't be able to comprehend this stuff at that time. They had to say certain things like, you ain't ready, you're not the one, you're not my twin, in order to get them to feel like that pressure is gone. So they could then be open to realize they are the fucking twin, they are the one, they are meant for this mission. And it's so crazy. It sounds so crazy. But we're souls in a human vessel. Our ego, our mind cannot comprehend so much because we're built up in this illusion and we're already programmed to think that so much of this stuff isn't even real. So the last card we were reading was Heal. Now I left these cards out last night, so I've had a lot of divine masculines talking to me, trying to get my attention, and the song that I keep hearing again and again and again is this song by Day 26. I don't think it's the song specifically. I think they're just trying to get this message across collectively to you divine feminines, and the lyrics are gosh, it's because they're going through this transformation, and they're realizing so much of what they did they were unaware of. So I keep hearing this song, and the lyrics are, I know it might sound crazy, but I don't know what I did to make you want to leave. You say we've been here before. I say I'm sorry. You come back. I do it again, and then you pack. But girl, it's different now. Wow, that hurt. But I think the masculines are really trying to face up to reality. I mean, they just can't bullshit themselves anymore. It's not the one. It's so stagnant and toxic. So the next and last card we have of the top row of the emotional, mental craziness that's going on is listen. I'm hearing Drake singing in my head right now. That song, all the energy that you bring to me. My last girl would tear me apart, but you never want to spend a thing with me. When it comes to you, I think I'd die for you. Shoulder seat cry for you. Do things when you want me to. Yeah, that controller song, that's it. I forgot what it was called. That's why, wow! That's the Justice card that just flew out, by the way. Wow, that is speaking volumes. Wow, hold on one second. Justice. Your career brings fairness and protection to others who need your help. Wowza. Okay. I feel like that just changed up the whole game. But because they're going through this transformation, the divine masculines are starting to really listen to their real self, their heart space. They're understanding that they've blocked out so much knowledge. They've seen movies like The Matrix. They've studied loads of things on occult lectures and spiritual ascension. They've had conversations and engaged in conversations about these matters of elevating yourself and raising your consciousness and your vibration and awareness. But they were blocking so much of that knowledge really integrating inside them, like literally going in one ear and out the other. They've watched the same videos again and again and again, but then they haven't applied it to their life. So this time they're really starting to listen, and I mean really take on board what is being shown to them. They're aware that there is a lesson in literally every single thing, every moment, every connection. It's all an experience that they're creating. I feel like the telepathy is getting stronger as well. Like the divine masculines are starting to hear the divine feminines a lot more. Like it's really faint, but it's like I can hear like a divine feminine singing songs, and it's like it feels like it's helping me through this transformation, this ordeal. Also, they're hearing their inner child talk a lot more, like that voice that they've suppressed and closed down so much because they're really having to open up that throat chakra now. Wow, that's profound. So let's move on to the second row. Oh wow, I love this card. Wow. This is beautiful. I feel like this is the stages that they're going through. This is the turmoil, the pain, the tower moment, the transformation, all the mental and emotional chow that they're having to really confront, heal, let go of, and really become open. I mean, wide open. And once they get to that space, they can then allow all of this knowledge, this integration, this new balance to come in. This new faith in themselves, the universe, trust, understanding that they can actually create and manifest what they want, and the negative stuff is so easy to manifest, and they have to refocus their energy, their chi, and then after they've got into that balanced state, then they're going to have even more guidance. Wow. Which one flew out now? Animals. You understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance as the animals are part of your life's work. Wowza. Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to reconfirm what I was hearing. Wow. Okay, so divine masculines. What they want you to know, divine feminines, they are starting to come into a whole new faith, a whole new belief system. I mean, literally, once again, like the Matrix, Neo starts pulling out all these crazy moves that none of them have ever been able to do in the real world. And Morpheus turns around and he's like, he's beginning to believe. When you begin to believe, you can conceive. When you begin to conceive, you can receive. And wow, their cup is flowing over. The knowledge, the abundance, the clarity, the faith, the love. I feel such love deep within my core holding this card. They're realizing if they do something every day to show themselves love and care, really listen, really stay open. My goodness, the opportunities and abundance is just coming. Like all this abundance is right here. It's always been here, but they would never see it. They literally had like the darkest shades on, and now they're like, wow, this looks so different when you look at the sun directly. Look how beautiful the trees are, the greenery. But when I've got my sunglasses on, those really dark shades, all I see is grey. It's literally their eyes have been opened. Their real eye has been opened. Wow. How beautiful. All I keep hearing again and again is knowledge, power, integrity, knowledge, power, integrity, knowledge, power, integrity. Know thyself. Yeah. Divine feminines, divine masculines are coming into their own. They're starting to come into their real power, their real essence, their real divinity. Because they're understanding more and more that they really are an energy in a vessel that they can use to their advantage or let it destroy them. And now they're starting to realize they can really use this to their own advantage. Because they're becoming more open through going through this transformation and knocking down all these walls and breaking all these blocks, they are comprehending more information that's been given to them. Because we all get downloads all day, every day. Sometimes it's way more intense. But a lot of us are just not aware of it. So then the universe is like, oh, I told you this 2 weeks ago. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to tell you in a different way. A YouTube video this time. No, it didn't work. Okay, let me bring down that neighbor and say it to you. No, it didn't work. Okay, you read it in a news article. No, it didn't work. Like every time. And now they're starting to really comprehend and conceive more of the knowledge that's been given to them. The reasons why they're here, the things that they need to do in this mission. They're starting to really come to a new inner standing of that. Oh, I like this card. the energy of this is just like it's like overwhelmingly, just like, not even overwhelmingly, like effortless balance, goodness, chill vibe, like accepting the good, the bad, accepting when I feel sad, pissed off, angry, something's coming up to heal. That's a great thing. I don't fight that anymore. And when I'm happy, it's just like, wow, this is great. It's like I just suddenly feel like I'm just so mellow, like I've just smoked some weed or something, I don't know. But like I've been lying out in the sun for like 2 hours and I'm like, yeah man, I'm good. I've gone through a lot, I'm good now. That's where the divine masculines are getting to. And I'm hearing that they really, really hope that you feminines are in that same space. Because now they're so aware of the damage that they've caused themselves and to you. And they're really like, they're thinking, yeah, they must be really good right now. And they're hoping that you are. Even though, because they're hearing some of you singing and hearing some of your thoughts, they know that some of you feminines are going back and forth, and sometimes you're in real stress, pissed off, like, why is my happiness not here yet? I thought I've done all this work for no reason. And then other times they're like, fuck it, I'm living my best life. And that's just normal ups and downs, but they're really, like, they're hoping that you're starting to come into this balance on your own, without anyone, just for you. Because when they're getting to these moments of feeling this balance, this equilibrium, it feels so nice, it feels so peaceful, because you're just open, you're just going with the flow, you're giving and receiving, just that natural way, that natural system. I love how my phone's nodding again. It feels good. Because they're going to get to this space. And the more in balance they are, the more in tune they are. And the more in tune they are, the more in alignment they are. And the more in alignment the divine masters are, the more they can be in their mission, their power, their divinity. And if you two are meant to reconnect and start and do your mission together, they're on the right track. Or at least they're getting on the right track once they've gone through all of this. It's beautiful. So as I said, oracle cards now that we call for the divine masculine, what they want the divine feminine to know. So I said briefly earlier, animals are part of your life's work, part of your healing. And I say that as this beautiful moth has been sitting next to me. I've tried to help it, I've given it some Reiki. I was holding it on an oracle card. Woo! And it didn't seem to like that. So it's gone back on the floor right next to me. Just not moving, like resting. And recently there have been a lot of animals dying around us. A lot of insects dying around us. Birds, butterflies, moths, praying mantises. There's just a lot going on. And I know that when you're in an energy, other beings will gravitate towards it for healing. Some people will class them as gatekeepers, other people have other labels. But sometimes when you're giving out such a healing vibration, you'll find things coming towards you just before they're about to pass. Just to get that last bit of healing, that transition. And I feel like that definitely applies to some of you people that are watching this. Divine masculines or divine feminines. Yeah. Or if you start seeing suddenly loads of birds hitting your glass windows, depending on your perception, you can see that as either blessings of financial abundance, prosperity coming in. You can see that as the warning of the death that's about to happen, or you can see that as potentially a new chapter coming in your life because you have to end the old one. It's okay. Say hi. Thank you, baby. Ooh, cacao. Thanks, Bob. Sure. So I feel like some of you, as you're going through this transformative time, both divine masculines and feminines, because your energy, your energetic field, your aura, everything's raising, everything's getting more intense, more potent, more stronger. You're elevating and rising. You're really honing in, harnessing your chi. You're attracting even more entities, whether it's a beautiful moth like this, or it could be a person, or it could be a dog, or it could be a spirit of a deceased loved one that you don't even know, but they're coming towards you because they can see from a bird's eye perspective that you're going to go to a Starbucks tomorrow and you're going to bump into someone with a pink scarf, and they're going to show you visions of a woman in a pink scarf that needs to know these certain messages from these loved ones. Like a medium, because so many of us are coming into our divine powers, our abilities that have been closed off for so long. Once again, like Neo in the Matrix. I can't stop referencing that right now. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of divine masculine straight off the bat, just like going in and getting a dog. It's like a lot of the divine masculines have never really gravitated towards having a pet, like respecting them in their environment and just keeping to themselves. But they're now connecting more with their heart. So I see a lot of divine masculines going out and adopting dogs that need homes, that need shelter, that need to be shown what love is because they've had abusive owners before. And it's like a very controversial thing because they don't agree with animals being pets, because animals are supposed to just live their lives ordinarily, doing whatever they want in their natural way and not being owned by us ridiculously egotistical humans. But they're now realizing that in this system they could do more to help by adopting a dog that really needs that love and that care and that guidance, just like you would a human in pain. So I see some of them doing that, and it's helping them to connect more with their heart space, their care, the way they show affection, their love, their dedication, their commitment, and in turn, obviously, giving all of that to the dog as well. Like they're giving and receiving in that kind of private, intimate way that I've seen that people do have with their pets. I don't have a pet of my own, so that's why I'm saying that. But then I also see, I do see some divine masculines. Oh, it's just got heavy now. I'm seeing some divine masculines going back to their childhood again. Like a natural past life regression, which a lot of us have been going through over the last few years in the run up to this moment. Wow. I'm seeing a lot of divine masculines going back to their childhood and remembering when they used to do certain things that weren't of the greatest and highest good, like throwing rocks at, you know, the neighbor's cat. And even though to most ordinary people, I say ordinary, when I say that I mean most sheep, most people that just follow the crowd, most people that don't think for themselves, most people that are just part of the system, they would be like, oh, you know, you're just a kid, that's, you know, whatever, that's silly, whatever, like, why do you feel bad about it? But the divine masculine is getting more into their feminine energy, and deeper and deeper into that heart space. The emotional body, the empathy is coming out more and more, and they're getting upset at the things that they used to do when they were a child, whether it was throwing rocks at the neighbor's cat, or whether it was trying to scare birds on a beach. It's almost like some of the DMs have had pets before, and they used to show all this love and affection and care when they were in that vulnerable state, like all of us are when we're first a child, before all of the bullshit programmings come in from our parents and society. And it's like they remember a time when they started to neglect that pet. And they're realizing that they did that as a reflection of how they felt about themselves, what was going on within themselves. And now they feel really fucking terrible about it. And they've continued to do it to humans as they grow up. And it's almost baffling them that they haven't been able to see that before. So they're wanting to make amends, make things right, or make things better, and do more involving animals. I see some of them actually going out on, and I mean fully, like fully changing their career path, like from working in a restaurant, a clothing store. I see some people working in offices that they fucking hate, and they're making good money, don't get me wrong. Some of the divine masculines, feminines, they're making like a good like 50, 60, some 80k a year. But they're realizing that the money doesn't define their worth anymore. And I'm legit seeing some of these masculines like fully changing their career, and to the outside world it looks so fucking random. Like they're having a midlife crisis. My third eye is killing me right now. And for them it's also baffling, like, is this really what I should be doing? Like, why have I not thought about this before? I didn't want to do this when I was 12. I didn't want to do this when I was 18. Why do I want to do it now? I should just stick to what I'm good at. Like, I'm good at this. I'm making decent money. Like, come on, in 3-4 years I'll scale up. But then they get reminded from themselves, that's an ego trap. You're trapping yourself in that ego, low vibrational mindset, giving all your power, all your energy, and all your expectations onto one single energy called money, and allowing that to rule you, which is so ridiculous. And then they get to that space and they're like, wow, no, I need to do what's in here. So I'm seeing some of them legit changing their careers and starting to go off, working with animal sanctuaries, working in safaris, like, I mean, full on traveling. I see a lot of DMs traveling, and into some obscure places that you would never think your DM would go to, like Bolivia, Lithuania. They're really hearing now this guidance from their heart. They're remembering certain things they've done in their past lives or alternate lives that they've done before, and going to that space or studying about that country or that space or that environment, it's like it's helping to awaken these things that have been within them the whole time, that they've held back, these abilities. Like, my DM started to step more into his power, and he's realizing that he's also done Reiki in many lifetimes just like me. But it's taken him so long to even realize that, because he didn't want to believe it, because it's easier for most of the DMs to be like, oh, you have a special gift, you're gifted, you can see things from a more emotional standpoint. But now they're allowing themselves to be that vulnerable, to be that open. The connection they have with animals is beautiful. Wow, energy healing. Your natural energy healing abilities are an important part of your life purpose. I don't even know if you guys can see that one. This moth is standing strong. Wow, the energy. So similar to what I was just saying about my DM, of him stepping more into his power through the tools of doing Reiki energy healing. Once again, throat chakra is opening up a hell of a lot. I do see a lot of divine masculines really really exercising their throat chakra. Some are putting out some Instagram quotes that they've actually written, or reposting them, because they're still like, oh, I'm a bit shy about this, guys, like, but I'll slowly start putting myself out there. But then I see some DMs going full throttle, They're making videos talking directly to the camera when they don't normally do that. They're also actually sharing more of their own ascension, like the growth they've gone through. They're not necessarily using the words ascension. They're not necessarily using the spiritual labels that we've created, but they're still talking about this massive growth journey that they've gone through and how and why they've got into this space now. Especially to those new souls or old souls that they're connecting to in a new way when they are traveling and going to different areas and places that they haven't been before. They're being more open to sharing themselves. And they know that doing that is not only healing them, it's healing other people. It's inspiring themselves and others at the same time. Like making a YouTube video. Like, this confidence is coming up within them because they're realizing that they do have powers to heal themselves and help heal others. And in a much more balanced, open-hearted, loving way that's not full of fear and control and manipulation. Yeah. And of course, like we saw earlier, justice. Your career brings fairness and protection to others who need your help. Okay, so in my head, I saw a symbol, and I saw a vision of this guy. You guys might not know him. His name is called Chakabars on Instagram. And the message basically, this person, I don't know how to explain it. I saw him because he stands for what I've seen in this card of what some of the divine masculines are stepping into, which they really want you to know, divine feminines. They don't like seeking your approval, but they want you to know that all of this pain that you've both gone through is not it's not for nothing. Like, it's really helping them to wake up and step into their real mission, their real abilities, their real power, and they're really trying. And going alongside the energy healing, the animals, opening up the throat chakra, sharing more of themselves and their growth. I'm seeing a lot of the divine masculines being more open and vulnerable, and they're becoming a platform for helping others that really need more awareness. And the reason why I saw Chakabars is because he represents that. This beautiful soul speaks up about situations that are very controversial, such as, Ethiopian Airlines going down and how it could have been an inside job, or people going out hunting and poaching animals, and then karma comes along and they get killed by the same animal that they were going out and hunting. Talking about, the different types of health benefits of having stuff like Irish sea moss and spirulina, rather than filling yourselves full of fatty, greasy shit from McDonald's, and Dr. Sebi and all the conspiracies on how he got killed off because he was really raising the vibration and awareness of what we put into our body and the poisons that are given to us on a day-to-day basis, like fluoride always being put in your tap water, especially if you're in the USA, stuff like that, and how all of this stuff is just, you're just poisoned every day to shut down your pineal gland, to shut down your awareness, to shut you down. And he spreads awareness on all of these things. Like, there was this beautiful little girl. I think she was only like 7 years old, and she is from a Muslim household, and she wears a hijab, and she was getting bullied at school so much, and the bullies were telling her to kill herself, so she killed herself. He spreads awareness about all of these things and tries to not just warn people, but educate people and inspire people to create a change within themselves, and to be aware that these things are going on, and I feel that the divine masculines are fully stepping into that vulnerable power of understanding that they can share their voice, they can share their opinion, they can share their message, their wisdom, and there will always be haters talking shit, There'll always be people like, I don't want to see this sad shit on my timeline, delete it. There'll always be those people because they don't want to look, they don't want to see, they don't want to be aware, they want to pretend that everything's hunky-dory, ya la la. I work 9 to 5 and I go to the shopping centre and I buy myself a nice pizza from Pizza Hut, and then, you know, I go downstairs and watch X Factor, and that's my life. So many people like to just stay there. But he just like rips the lid off of everything and tries to raise awareness of so many issues that are plaguing us. And I see the divine masculines really stepping into that vulnerability, that power, understanding that it's okay to share their own message, their own guidance, their own awareness, knowing that it's okay to share their real opinion from their heart space rather than their ego. And people aren't going to like it always, but I see them really stepping into that vulnerable power, and it's so fucking beautiful. Wow. So if you guys don't know who Chakabars is, I seriously recommend you following his Instagram page. For a newbie that's getting into more conscious awareness and spirituality, or just, you know, being a guiding light for all of the fucked up, horrible shit that goes on in the world, yes, it can be quite intense. But he's brilliant. He's doing a great job. He's helping all of these children, building self-sustainable living for children in third world countries, just like we're trying to do here at the No Retreat with our charity, the No Charity. And it's like, yeah, I highly recommend following his Instagram. He is such a light. And I just want to thank you, Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines, for bearing with me through this reading. It was very intense. We've gone on some crazy journey, but Divine Masculines are really, really doing the work on a whole new level than I've seen before. And not everything can happen on our time frame. And one other thing that Spirit just said to me just now, and I have to remind you guys of this, it's so important. Sometimes the things we think we want the most is not what we actually need. I'm going to say that again because it took me a long time to really accept that, because my ego used to be like, no. Sometimes the things we think we want the most are not the things we actually need for our best lives, for our highest and greatest goods. Everything does happen in divine timing, divine orchestration. Every painful experience is there to push you, to transform you, to elevate you, to remind you of your true power, your true essence, to remind you of your fucking worth. Do you know your worth? That's a question to ask yourself in the mirror. And with that being said, I love you all so much. I'm going to give you some Reiki to help you balance out these intense energies. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that Reiki. I love you guys so much. Once again, if you want to come to a beautiful healing retreat and restaurant, because we're about to launch our vegan restaurant here as well, then follow the Noah Retreat on the Instagram. You can book to stay here on Airbnb. We do loads of experiences, a lot of healing experiences like cacao ceremonies, manifestation ceremonies, teaching people how to do crystal healing, reading tarot cards, inner child trauma. My DMs just started doing natal chart readings as well. And of course, if you just want some healing online for either one of us, then just contact either SoulStarNini or nickanini@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow our vlog channel that we just started. Hi guys! We traveled all over the world for the last 9-10 months, and we're finally uploading everything from Barcelona, Brighton, Portugal, Bali, Hempstead, London, the list goes on. And don't forget to follow my Divine Masculine, Nick, aka Soul Authentic. And I'm also posting a lot more on Instagram now. I'm doing some daily readings, pulling some cards, I'm doing some inspirational videos, and I'm putting out shit tons of inspirational quotes just to help you stay in a high vibration, help you heal and help you ascend as much as I can. So follow my Instagram at soulstardivinefeminine, I think it is. And pre-warning quickly, I know you guys have seen me talking about my spiritual pregnancy. That I put that video up, I think, last week, talking about spiritual ascension symptoms, stuff like that. For a really long time, as you heard in that video, I've been guided and getting loads of spirits coming through me that need my help. Missing children, people that were horrifically murdered, hidden away, things covered up. I told you guys in that video how Kanika Jenkins, that poor soul, got tragically murdered in a freezer and it was all covered up, and how she was channeling through me from last year and still is, and people like Michael Jackson, Johnny Cash, Rebecca Zalho, like so many of these entities and energies that have been horrifically, tragically ended, have been channeling through me a lot. So I was originally going to start doing my cases or reporting on these missing children, missing women, missing men, and horrific things going on. Sorry, my DM is blowing flies off his arm. I was going to do it on another channel because that's what my mind told me to do, but my heart and my higher self has guided me to do it on this channel, because this is the channel where I raise awareness, raise awareness, raise awareness. I'm sorry, that is so funny. This is a channel that I raise awareness and vibrations and spiritual consciousness and healing, and we all need to show more healing, more compassion, more empathy, and be more aware of these things that go on and really help these people, because so many of these people that are missing and have been missing for so long could still be found if you were more aware of it. So just a pre-warning, I'm still doing shit tons of twin flame readings, loads of zodiac readings, my Reiki, my meditation, my spiritual ascension videos, law of attraction, manifestation. I'm putting all of my heart out onto this channel, alongside helping raise awareness of these missing children, or these people who were tragically murdered that were covered up, because people know more than they tell you. So just a pre-warning, still stay subscribed, click the notification bell. If you see a video that you're like, no, this is too dark for me, I don't want to know about this child that's gone missing for 6 years, don't worry, there'll be another video that will come up that you'll love, whether it's law of attraction, how I mastered 6,000 pounds within 24 hours, or literally another twin flame reading. So I love you all so much. I'm sending you so much love and light, and remember that you are beautiful, you can attract anything you want, and you're on your way. You're on the right path and you're in alignment. I love you, I love you, I love you. Mwah. Bye guys.